Hi, I'm Tina Patel, Director of Formed Architects, and the property here is for 4 flats in Wembley. This deal originally came to us from a builder that had been previously, we tendered some work to, and the builder liked our drawing packages and subsequently recommended us to the client, saying that these guys would be able to deliver. The client had historically had some issues trying to get this deal over the line in terms of planning permissions and sort of getting a proposal together that the council would approve. And so we put some ideas down and the client took us forward with it. So the primary challenge with this site was essentially getting planning. The client had been trying for over 5 years to get planning prior to our engagement. And historically, the site had been a block that had been illegally converted into kind of 14 self-contained little bed sits, which the council had condemned. It'd been derelict for years, and critically, we had a situation where there were holes in the roof, squatters at points, all sorts of things that had all been boarded up. Basically, the council wanted it to be put back into use, but we were being particular about what would work and what wouldn't. And it was for us to sit down with the council at pre-application stage to kind of put it out there that yes, the site can accommodate the number of flats that we've got on it. We did put a proposal in for a number of iterations, if you like, to see if the council would take something a little bit more modern. But given the site and the context of it on a kind of residential street, this is kind of where we've settled with. So architecturally, I don't think necessarily that this is the most exciting building. We've had to make it work within the context of where we are. But design-wise, what we've sought to do is make sure all of the rooms have got great natural daylight. Outlook is either front-facing or rear-facing. The bedrooms are well-sized with sufficient space for storage, which is something that we believe is really, really important, even in the smallest of dwellings. Making sure that the entrances for all flats are well lit, so that once it's all finished and fitted out, it's got a welcoming aesthetic. And design-wise, what we've tried to do again is make it robust. The client's going to hold on to the property as a long-term buy-to-let, and we want to make sure that those design choices are made in a way that means that they won't be paying out every few years to get things redone. So putting luxury vinyl tile flooring in everywhere. Some of the sanitary choices are made so that they're a little bit more robust. And just thinking about it from a long-term perspective rather than the short-term kind of cheapest chips sort of stuff. In this area, we are looking at letting out this property to young professionals as well as a young family. Because we were knocking down what was considered to be a large family home, we had to provide under planning a 3-bedroom unit on the ground floor. So there is one of the units is 3-bedroom, the other units are 2-bedroom units. So because of that, there will probably be a young family out the back, but they've got garden access. All of the flats do have garden access. So in terms of amenity and things like that, I think it's quite attractive for young professionals or young families. It was on site during COVID, and it was one of the ones that we could carry on during COVID because we could socially distance. So there's been some learnings around managing that and managing expectations around that. But we've kind of progressively talked through all of those things with the client and dealing with it sequentially. So I think that's a lesson to take away, and just making sure that you manage those expectations, really. The client has refinanced a couple of other buy-to-let properties to finance this. And then for the last tranche, they're taking out a development loan on it to be able to do it. And then they'll refinance the whole thing under a buy-to-let package, essentially, for each individual flat. In an ideal world, we'd be further along now if we hadn't had those delays with the groundworks at the outset, and then subsequently with COVID, which meant we couldn't go as fast. We've had supply chain issues as a result of COVID, where even though we've ordered all the bricks and things, there's been sort of certain things just haven't been able to get hold of. But I think we're past most of that now, and we're pre-ordering as much as we possibly can. So generally, yes, like I say, it would be nice if it was finished this side of the year, but we'll see where we are by sort of in 2 months' time. Hopefully, if we've got a roof on it, we might be able to manage it.